Beckman, but he sure was right. Nahshon Garrett did not disappoint, and we got a whistle, and we're underway here. Our first match of our main card here, 125 pounds, Garrett and Patterson. Garrett in the red, Patterson in the blue.
Garrett operates really well from space, likes to go head tap double, really quick, very powerful. It's gonna be, the challenge for him is gonna be finding a way to finish off Jared Patterson, who's great counter offense, good counters, great scrambler, very clingy, as you'll see on top and from neutral.
Patterson, one of 3 University of Oklahoma wrestlers here, of course. We're also going to see Kendric Maple in our main event of the evening taking on Logan Stieber, and then we will also see the return of Andrew Howe at 174 as he's going to take on NCAA runner-up Matt Brown of Penn State. And we are almost a minute into this one, and Garrett trying to come forward. Patterson fends him off, and they circle to the edge, go out of bounds, and they'll come back to the center with 2:03 to go.
Interesting note about Garrett, 112-pounder his senior year of high school, and here we are just a couple years later. He is a full-size 125. Cornell has a great strength and conditioning program, obviously. And
boy, hit the weights.
Yes, indeed. And strength and size has never been an issue for Nahshon.
Garrett trying to lock up a 2-on-1 tie here, and he marches Patterson towards the edge. Hey, go out of bounds again. 1:34 to go here in the first. We're going to come back to the center, get a fresh start. Like you said, 112 pounds. It wasn't on probably a lot of people's radar.
No.
And look at that. Over in the corner, you got Kyle Dake and Mike Gray. But who do you got in the background? Redman. And, of course, Michael Leitner and Jared Freyer, a world team member and an Olympian in the corner for Patterson. Oklahoma looking to have a big year here. They got a lot of guys coming off red shirt, and they could be solid.
Absolutely. They got 4 or 5 really, really tough guys, and they got some young guys. They're going to have to step up to get them in the race for a trophy, but they're going to be right there by the season's end.
They got their 3 All-Americans here. They also have a Rutt coming off a red shirt, and one of the Lester boys also. Both of those guys All-Americans, so half their lineup could be All-Americans.
Definitely.
And we're down to 45 left here in the first. .30 seconds to go, and we are at a scoreless first period. Did you expect this? I know you thought you were picking Garrett to win this. Do you think he'd get a takedown by now?
Yeah, I did. I thought he would open him up a little more. I thought we'd see some more motion from Garrett so far. Credit to Patterson for staying in close and not playing Garrett's game basically. But I think over time he's going to open up if Garrett stays persistent. But Patterson, a very savvy cerebral.
And there you go from the outside. Garrett gets to the leg. Patterson drops immediately, looking to catch a scramble. Patterson's got the leg now, like a back hook on it. He may just be trying to kind of hold on here. He's not really in position to score, but he's in position to stop Patterson from scoring.
That's vintage Patterson.
Stop Garrett from scoring.
Yep, that's vintage Patterson. That's what he does. You get on his legs, he's dangerous. He's ready to scramble and turn the takedown into his own. And that's going to be the challenge for Garrett.
And you didn't even really see any hesitation. Garrett, beautiful job, got to the leg, snatched it up in the air, had a high single, and immediately Patterson dives under, catches the leg, and starts that scramble, which ensues. It wasn't even a stalemate. I think it was just the end of the first, but it was going to be a stalemate. Now Patterson on top, like you said, kind of clingy. We'll see if he can get some riding time here, if he can hold Garrett down, or if Garrett's going to be able to get away right away. He's up to his feet near the edge. Patterson looking to take him out of bounds.
Wow.
Not going to happen. Garrett gets the escape, shoves Patterson, and he's going to go up 1-0, 14 seconds into this second period.
And that's huge for Garrett, getting away like that. Patterson, great leg rider. I've seen him ride guys for 2 minutes very consistently throughout his career. And to see Garrett get up, get hand control, and get away, that bodes well for Nahshon, who is excellent on top in his own right.
Minute and a half to go, second period. Nahshon Garrett, 1-0 lead over Patterson from Oklahoma. Back to kind of what we saw in the first period, you know, it's not a feel out, but not a lot of hardcore hand fighting and shots being fired.
Not much commitment yet from Garrett. Patterson yet to take a shot, and that's kind of him to a degree. He's not going to beat himself. He's not going to extend himself on a shot that he's not sure is there. When he does shoot, he favors a single leg. He's got a nice sweep, but You don't see it too often because he likes to pick his spots more than other guys.
And he takes Nahshon to the edge, and they're going to head out of bounds. They'll come back to the center. Under a minute to go now, second period. Not a ton of action.
Had a spot on the All-Ivy League first team.
Nahshon, shoot, he took out McDonough, I believe, right, in the quarterfinals?
He beat McDonough.
He beat Alan Waters for third.
Yep,
He
beat
had
Alan
lost
Waters.
a close one to in the semis.
Well, no, Delgado beat him up pretty good. That was all Delgado, but yeah, I mean, crashing the semis for Garrett was huge, and you know, he beat Gerard Garnett last year, Alan Waters, as you said, Matt McDonough, two-time national champion, three-time finalist. So it's his third-place finish. Not that any third-place finish is a flash in the pan, but his certainly comes with some great wins behind it.
And we're down to 15 seconds to go. Here's second period, and it's just still 1-0. Like we said, not a ton of shots flying off. As we say that, Garrett tries to come in, take a shot. Patterson not giving him an inch. And that's going to be it. Second period comes to a close.
Going to the third, 13 seconds of riding time. Not very much for Patterson. It'll be interesting to see if Garrett's able to ride here. He's committed. He's going to commit to this ride. He's going to look for the turn. It'll be interesting to see if Patterson's able to get away.
And so here we go. Will Nahshon Garrett be able to ride him? And Patterson up quick.
Big
I thought maybe he
returns.
almost beat the whistle. Maybe it was right on point with the whistle. And Nahshon picks him up, puts him back on the mat, driving forward tough. Nahshon Garrett here. And if you think about the improvement he made from the moment he got to Cornell through the NCAAs last year, who's to say he didn't have a phenomenal summer and he's going to be super dominant this year? I don't know. We'll see. But he's gotten Jared Patterson flattened out over on the edge of the mat. And he's going to take him out probably as soon as Patterson builds the base. Catches the ankle, hanging on to it. And again, they're going to go out of bounds. He burns 33 seconds of clock.
And Garrett's more than just, you know, a guy who gets a wrist return. Great mat returns, as you see. When guys come to their feet, a lot of times that's it and they'll get away. Garrett commits to the ride. He commits to returning. He'll follow. He's relentless on top, and he knows the importance, as you can see through this match. No guy has really proven themselves on their feet, so it's going to come down to the mat, and this is Garrett's opportunity with 19 seconds of riding time so far. If he gets over a minute, he's going to be in the driver's seat to win this match.
And he knows that, but he's not going to get that minute as Patterson gets the escape, and he's limping. Uh-oh. Oh, gosh. You hate to see this for several reasons. Hopefully, just a little ding. It looks like it. He shakes Michael Leitner off from the corner.
Tough guys here. And if Garrett would open up and push the pace a little more, he might be able to work for a stall call, but so far he hasn't pushed the action enough to warrant one. So he's letting Patterson kind of hang back, which he likes to do from time to time. Now Patterson going head taps, maybe looking to open up Garrett.
And under a minute to go.
Yeah, 53 seconds on the clock. We're tied at 1. And could we see overtime in our opening bout of the evening?
And chases that leg.
Nahshon to the foot and not quite able to get it.
And it's still all Garrett for the offense, initiating the attacks. But, you know, I guess he hasn't done enough in the referee's eyes to warrant a stall warning. And really, with 30 seconds to go, that's probably not going to have an effect on the regulation impact of this match.
And 20 seconds to go, regulation.
There's a shot. Patterson fires one off. We're down under 15 seconds to go. Likely headed to overtime. 10 seconds.
The number 3 and number 6 ranked wrestler by Amateur Wrestling News. 2 seconds to go.
Shoots him out of bounds. 2 seconds. This one smells like overtime. What do you think, Bader?
Yep, that's overtime. I thought it was something else earlier, but it's overtime for sure. I thought you forgot to put deodorant on.
No,
Christian.
no.
1 minute, sudden victory.
You hear it, man? And I think I see Patterson slightly limping. Like maybe it's just a tweaked ankle or something. Maybe even his right one.
little ginger.
No, he's a brown-haired kid.
Oh.
1 minute on
Thank
the
you,
clock.
Mark.
Takedown for
There
the win.
it is.
And there we see Patterson fires off a high crotch and gets the position. Nahshon Garrett sat the corner. Now comes hip forward, rolls Garrett's trying to roll him through. Patterson trying to hang on to the leg. Nahshon Garrett locks through the cross. Patterson has the bottom foot isolated. Would like to pull it down and step over. Now he turns to the head. Patterson in position to score here. Garrett with the reverse lock on the leg. Now hanging on. 30 seconds to go here in the first overtime. And they flip over. Oh, Patterson, excuse me. Nahshon Garrett now in position to score. And he's going to hold him. That's going to be 2. Nahshon Garrett got to get the takedown and the win. He's looking for back points and a potential pin. Patterson fights his way off his back, but Nahshon Garrett, great effort. It was an attack by Patterson in overtime. He gets Nahshon to a crackback position. Nahshon gets it into a scramble, rolls Patterson through, forces him on his back, and freezes him. They do award the takedown and the near fall. Final score, 6-1 in overtime.
Both good mat wrestlers, but Schopp really makes his money on top. Tilts, Turks, he's got it all, and he's a real handful.
That's that PA style, man. Tough on the mat, tough on top. We'll see how it plays out. I watched, kind of had the pleasure of watching Mason Beckman kind of grow through high school. That's where I first got turned on to who he was as a wrestler, and impressed by him now to see to watch these guys transition into the college ranks. Even guys like David Taylor, who we watched at St. Paris Graham back in the day, moving on and becoming college stars. It's great, and we're going to see them at the next level, the years after.
Absolutely. That's the great part about wrestling. And that's where Beckman wants to be. He wants inside control, right hand, and he'll shoot the sweep with his left, and he's lethal there.
Back at it right here at George Mason.
We're live here on the campus of George Mason University in Fairfax, Virginia, just outside of Washington, D.C. Of course, last year this event was at American University inside Washington, D.C., so a good area of the country here and a lot of support. They had, I think, 3,500 pre-sold tickets, and it looks to me like it's probably more than that, closer to 10 or 12,000 here. And,
There's some Missouri math there, people.
that might have been a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. And there he is. That's where Beckman wants to be, right on that sweep. Got the inside control, looking to dump. And but Schopp, so tough to score on. But there it is. And there's the 2 for Beckman. Very
Beckman
impressive.
strikes first, and if I want to look back at our whiteboard wars, Christian, I know it's not over, but I think I might have picked the guy in the blue.
It's not over. It's not over.
It's not even close to over. We're only halfway through the first. I'm just busting you up a little bit here.
No.
You can bring it right back when I'm wrong.
But that is very telling. Schopp coming into this match has to know what Beckman's going for, and he wasn't able to stop it. So that's telling in its own right.
And so if you're looking at home and you're watching this and you're thinking, no, the score is wrong. It's not 3-0. That is, in fact, your team score. The individual match score is 2-1, so they do have that right. We'll keep you updated on that right now. But it's 2-1 as we see Schopp in on the leg, on the edge, trying to pull Beckman back in, and they're going to go out of bounds. We'll come back to the center. 1 minute to go. 2-1 your score. Mason Beckman in the blue leading this match.
And we saw Schopp get on his own sweep single. He likes a sweep, and he's got a really nice low single. John Smith low single that he'll shoot from time to time as well.
Both guys on a knee now. Both guys on 2 knees. Schopp transitions to 1, as does Beckman, and both of them up to their feet. But still a little tentative, you can see. Under 30 seconds now. And again, if you're just joining us, this is your second match of the All-Star Duel. Nahshon Garrett, an overtime winner over Jared Patterson at 125. We're here at 33, and we got a jumbled up order. We're at 25. Now this is 33. Then we go 57, 84, 97, heavy, 65, 74, 41, and 49 is how we're going to close things out here.
Yep. Nice shot attempt from Schopp, and then they knock heads a little bit after, but both guys look like they're okay.
It looked like Schopp literally shaked it off. He shook his head side to side and got rid of the cobwebs.
2 tough kids here.
And that's going to be it. First period comes to end. 2-1 your score. Mason Beckman with the lead.
And Beckman's going to defer. We'll probably see Schopp go under, but he's kind of an auto top guy. He'll choose top, and there he goes. Schopp, choosing top, and he's great with tilts. He's going to get the wrists. He likes to Turk. So this will be a great test for Beckman here.
Be up on Fox Sports in the near future.
And not a great first move from Beckman there. Going to look to build his base up and get hand control maybe. Schopp maybe looking for a near side cradle right now.
No, because of this thing here, the athletes couldn't see it because of the way.
Both of these athletes 3 times.
And Schopp likes to ride out towards the head more than you see a lot of guys, and he likes to use that knee, keeps that arm down. That's got to be painful, and it's tough to build your base when you've got a guy's knee right on your forearm there. And Schopp continues to ride, but there it is. There's the escape. So now it's going to be tough for Schopp here.
Napoli will participate this evening.
Minute 19 to go here, second period, 3-1 score. Mason Beckman with the lead. He's out ahead of Schopp. Mason Beckman in the blue, AJ Schopp in the red. And Beckman back down at 2 knees.
Schopp, a 2-time NCAA qualifier, 1-time All-American. Beckman, a redshirt sophomore. He did qualify through the EIWA.
And from a rankings perspective, this would be a pretty substantial shakeup. Beckman again on that single leg where he likes to be.
And is he going to be able to pull that thing down and step over? This is the same exact position we saw Garrett roll Patterson through and end up scoring, or a very similar situation. Now Beckman traps that bottom leg. He's going to try to pop this one probably at the knee. Pop his head out. There he is. He's on the knee. Trying to pop. Needs to get his left arm through. If he can get that left arm through, he's going to score this, Christian. He's got his hands locked now. And that's very close to 2. The referee says nothing yet. I'm glad I'm not a referee. The referee's looking at each other for confirmation. And now they're going to award 2. Beckman holds him there long enough, establishes control, gets the takedown, and the freshman from Lehigh is up 5-1. An impressive performance thus far.
Yeah, Beckman, a sophomore. That's a
sophomore.
Yeah.
Feel free to jump on
2
me.
takedowns there, and he's going to choose neutral. And I don't see why he wouldn't. He's had the clear advantage on his feet, getting to his attacks and finishing effectively. That is the area that surprised me. Schopp is great at counters and tough on his feet in his own right. To see Beckman, a sophomore, come out and take his game plan and enact it so effectively has surprised me.
We call that execution, my friend.
Execution.
And he's taking that knee and that low approach, and there, as soon as Schopp blows off a shot, he's not there.
Nice.
Beckman with a 5-1 lead, minute 44 to go in the match.
And great re-attack from Beckman there. I don't think he's looking to sit on this lead. I think he's looking to build his lead. Quick low single, like I was saying. That's what Schopp likes
in the
to
head
shoot.
there.
Yep.
Beckman tries a head outside single. Schopp gets his head in the way 2 in a row. Again, Schopp's head is in the way. Beckman can't penetrate around that side. And there's a little head banging going on there. I'm not talking rock music.
Looking for a go behind, has the wrist of Schopp, nothing doing. They're almost out of bounds here. Going to be tough for Schopp to navigate to a 2-point takedown here. Off the mat, and we'll get a restart. 1:08 to go, 5-1 Beckman.
Beckman up by 4, like you said, just over a minute, so he's in good shape here. Do you see him continue to attack?
Yeah, I think he will, but as you see,
as Schopp
backing
going
up a
forward.
little bit. Yep, but he's going to get to his tie. He loves that right side inside control. If Schopp gets too aggressive, he'll fire off a shot. I don't doubt it.
And Schopp gets to a leg here on the edge. All kinds of room. Schopp circles himself in balance so he can let this action continue. All you need is 1 point in. Schopp limp arms, gets it free. Now he's got to try to circle around and get that far edge. Beckman catches his foot, catches his hand. Schopp behind, has a hold of the hip, but he's not quite to the corner. In position to score.
And
Beckman controls the hand. Still in bounds, and Schopp has that foot shelf. He's in a good spot here.
And it's interesting to see that it's Beckman's counter offense that has been the difference here. His whizzers, his funk, he has been extremely tough for Schopp to take down, and that is the area I thought Schopp would have the advantage. We got potentially dangerous, 7 seconds to go, and Schopp's going to need a big move here, or this one's going to go to Beckman.
Mason Beckman impressing here, up by 4, 7 seconds to go, and he can back up all day long if he wants.
Coming to the end of the bout.
That'll do it. 5-1, the final. Sophomore Mason Beckman of Lehigh University pulls the upset over 3-ranked AJ Schopp. And Beckman sends a message early. 141, Tony Ramos bumps up for this match.
And these guys battled 3 times before. Carter taking 1, Ramos taking 2. Ramos bumping up for this one from 33 to 41 to see Carter, who's going to stay at 41 all season.
And you can notice the size advantage. Carter bigger, taller, thicker, all the way around. Carter is wide open on his feet. Underhooks, throw-bys, he's got it all. Ramos, very gifted defensively, but he's got a great single leg. He finishes well, and it's going to be interesting to see how the size plays a factor in this match.
The thing about Tony Ramos, though, is he's got such grit and determination that, you know, he's got attitude, and I like to see that.
Yeah.
He's fun to watch. He puts on a show, and when this kid steps on the mat in front of 15,000 fans of Carver Hawkeye, especially if he knocks off a #1 guy or gets a pin in a big duel, they go berserk.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the coolest wrestling atmospheres I've ever been in when he beat Jordan Oliver in 2012, and then when he pinned Jordan Conaway of Penn State last year in 2013. 2 of the most exciting moments that I've personally been involved in, and just single moments in wrestling, right there in Carver Hawkeye.
And Ramos loves the spotlight. He's fallen just short the last couple of years. He's right there.
Oh, drag attempt by Carter.
And
He
that's
got
where
behind,
Carter's
but
good.
unable to bring
Those
Ramos to the
throw-bys.
mat.
4-time finalist.
Great drags from Carter. That's what he does. Carter from Virginia Tech wrestler, Christiansburg High School. Ramos from Glenbard North and Glenbard.
Up near Chicago. We got a minute 25 to go here in the first period. And we see Carter trying to get to his underhooks, attacking. Like you said, he's got a size advantage. Tony Ramos doesn't care. He just wants to wrestle. But Carter is a stud, no doubt. Maybe you don't hear the hype and love around him that you do, but from Ramos, especially after taking a redshirt season last year, maybe some people somewhat forgot about him, but don't sleep on this kid. He's a hammer.
No, he's your #3 ranked 141 right now, behind Logan Stieber and Mitchell Port, returning national finalist. Ramos, your top ranked wrestler, with the departure of Logan Stieber up to 141.
Voted on by you, the fans.
Similarly offensive, both guys. No one a true commitment to a leg attack. Carter real close on that drag, but 36 to go. We're still scoreless here.
30 seconds to go, no score.
30 seconds, no score. Carter and Ramos taking some shots, but it's not. He's not quite able to get in deep enough and close enough to Carter's legs, and we see Carter right back to the left side underhook, continuing to try to come to it. Obviously, you know Tony Ramos is prepared for that.
Yep. And that's what, you know what, Ramos knows what Carter's gonna do. Carter knows what's gonna Ramos gonna do, and it's who's gonna execute their game plan.
Somebody literally just yelled behind us, and I think I saw his spit fly over my head. No joke.
It just looks like gel though, so you got a nice glisten there, baby. 0-0, second period. Ramos gonna go under.
Invitational and placing 3rd at the New York Athletic Club Invitational.
Ramos made some great improvements from bottom throughout the years. Really tough guy to ride now.
And immediately we're going to go claw, and leg comes in on the right side for Carter on top, trying to go to work. Ramos in a base, but slowly Carter's going to try to select, and now you see Ramos pinching his knees. He got the one out. He pinched so neither of them could come in, and he's back to his base. Good leg defense there by Ramos. He understands, but again, Carter slips it right back in. Carter now crosses his feet, has a scissors, trying to go to work on Ramos. Ramos very familiar with tough top wrestlers as he faced Logan Stieber in the past.
There he's
and
out.
Up to his feet, Ramos gets the escape. 35 seconds into this period, he leads 1-0.
Yep, great job, staying persistent, not panicking underneath and getting the escape. Tough ride put on by Carter.
1:09 to go. 1-0 Ramos. Really, you know, we haven't seen anybody really close to scoring on the feet. We haven't seen anybody in deep on a leg attack yet, or almost get to the corner on a front headlock.
Number 2.
Yep, doesn't take but one solid attempt, and if Ramos can get on his single, you know, he's a really high percentage finisher from there.
Kevin Dresser in the corner for Devin Carter. Ryan Morningstar in the corner for Tony Ramos.
There's.
Uh-oh, and
There's
Carter's
a
going to
go
sneak
behind.
behind and scores a takedown. First one of the match. That's a big takedown.
Huge.
33 seconds to go, and the riding time continues to
gonna be-
climb for Carter. Big lift and return.
And it's going to be huge for Ramos to get out before this period.
Ramos absolutely needs to get away before this period gets over if he wants to have a good shot there in the third period or set him up to be in a decent shot there in the third period. 21 seconds to go now in the second. Carter up 2-1, 5-0 on the riding time in favor of Devin Carter. 10 seconds more. Of course, he'll be over that minute mark.
Devin Carter, the 2012 ACC Wrestler
Oh, wow.
of the Year.
Big return there. That's huge. 12 seconds to go, and it looks like Carter's poised to get the ride out here. Huge ride out.
And they go out of bounds. 4 seconds to go. Carter on top. He's got 1:08 on the riding time clock, and he's going to be on top next period. So that, no, check that. Ramos should likely be on top, right?
Yep, I'm sure Carter will probably take down.
So Ramos is going to try to obviously ride at least long enough to erase the riding time. And then he's probably going to...
And that's something Ramos needs to be aware of, the riding time. And he's looking over at the clock. Ramos, a senior, savvy veteran. He's been around. He knows what he needs to do. And get that 11, 12-second ride and then go to work on his feet unless he thinks he can ride out.
And Carter turns in almost switch-esque. Doesn't happen. 3, 2, 1.
And
1
riding
minute,
time.
and
Ramos
Ramos
stares
literally
at the clock.
staring at the clock while they're on their feet. As soon as they get to under a minute, 58 seconds riding time, he kicks Carter away. We see Carter again trying to come to the underhook on the left side as Ramos sweeps to the right.
And he'll continue to look for that. He'll turn up the pace. Carter, a great gas tank in his own right, as does Ramos, of course. Both guys are going to be able to wrestle for the full 7 minutes.
And there again, that's the second, third, maybe fourth attempt we've seen to Ramos on that right side single. And I want to say that's the closest he's been.
Yeah.
He needs to not get over anxious and try to force a shot. He's got 1:15 to go. That's plenty of time to get a takedown and tie this thing.
Yep, and Ramos does have to be careful. That's how he gave up the takedown, his own offense, and a quick go behind from Carter. So he's got to be cognizant of that. But if he keeps working for angles, he's going to give himself an opportunity.
And there we go. And it looks like the right side single leg is what he wants.
Yep.
Carter kind of switching up his stance. He's leading right leg. He comes back and forth, left to right.
50 seconds left in this bout, and Carter leads Ramos 3-1.
Ramos picking up his motion a little bit, trying to get some more hand fighting, some more fakes, and trying to move a little quicker, some jerks, some jukes in and out. Stutters,
double.
takes a shot,
This is a
head on the
single.
inside, it's on the left side this time. Ramos
Nice
to the
whizzer.
leg. Whizzer by Carter. Ramos brings it up to the feet,
And this
has
is
it
what-
in the air. Carter drops down, tries to catch the puck. Not gonna happen. Tony Ramos gets the takedown, ties this thing. He's
Now he's
got
got
20 seconds to
ride.
ride, and he's got to try to ride him out. You can't think he's gonna go escape takedown here.
No way. And he needs to get him out. He needs to clear.
Carter tries to switch. Carter should have just tried to get away. When he tries to switch, Ramos able to trap the him. So Tony Ramos is going to tie this thing with a takedown with 20 seconds to go. And we're going to see overtime again.
And you see Ramos' finishing ability second to none. Gets in deep. He's extended. But like you've seen Iowa guys in the past, forces it up, gets the finish against a bigger and frankly probably stronger opponent in Devin Carter.
And he's stuck with, now Carter's got to be careful to not do what Ramos did early in the match and just try to fire off a shot.
So
and
close.
could Ramos be picking up some steam here as we move into the later minutes here, and actually into overtime? Carter now in on the high crotch, on the edge. Ramos defends. We got great action here in front of us.
There's a
Ramos,
reshot.
great reshot, and a takedown.
There's a
Tony
two.
Ramos. Little Hercules does it again, and he gives a double rainbows to the crowd.
Vintage Ramos, great re-attack, gives you the flex at the end, and that's Tony the Tiger with the 5-3 overtime win over Devin Carter.
Champ Logan Stieber out of Ohio State, undefeated 141-pound national champ out of Oklahoma. Kendric Maple meeting here at 149 pounds, doing it for the crowd.
Integrated logistics, technology, and supply chain.
Stieber in the red, Maple in the blue.
Yep, two gifted offensive wrestlers, both great on top as well. Stieber's relentless on his feet. Maple great reshots, great re-attacks, good length. And
Oh,
nice
and Maple
swing.
right in. Look at that. Gets to the leg deep. Stieber defending On the edge, Stieber still defending Maple, trying to get to the corner. Stieber fighting hands. Excuse me, Maple fight. No, I'm getting my names all mixed up. Stieber fighting hands, defends the shot of Maple, and we'll go back to the center. 2:18 to go in the first period. First leg attack, Maple gets in deep, Stieber defends.
And that's going to be the story for this match. Both guys probably going to be able to get in deep. Who's going to be able to finish? And I don't know, we got a little blood on the mat or something.
I think it's a contact.
J.R. Johnson finding someone's contact on the mat.
And the funny thing is, I don't think either of these guys wear contacts. That must have been from an earlier match. They both looked like, it ain't mine, dude.
And Bader, a true professional, knows the eye history of these wrestlers. That's details.
Returning.
Well, no, just bike. Oh, and Stieber! Don't say like cuts it back immediately, almost scores. Now he's in deep. We see Lorizella telling him to stay with it, and they're going to give the two.
Call.
That's the new reaction rule, I believe.
And I like it. He planted that hand, and that's two.
Immediately, no reaction time now. No reaction time. As soon as your other point of contact hits, it's a takedown. Even if it wasn't before, it is now as they go out of bounds. Logan Stieber strikes first, goes up 2-0 with 1:39 to go here in the first period.
And as I mentioned before, both guys really tough on top. Stieber had like 14, 17 falls, something like that last year. But can he ride someone like Kendric Maple? And so far, the answer is no.
Stieber, a two-time champ.
So a lot of action so far in the first minute and a half of this first period. 2-1, Stieber leads Kendric Maple in a battle of undefeated national champions.
1:15 to go here in the first period.
Excellent award.
Stieber fires off a shot. Maple defends and pushes him away. 1:01 to go now. First period.
So far, both guys content to wrestle from space. Stieber very tough with his shrugs and slide bys here from these ties. So that's something to look for to see if Maple avoids those ties altogether.
Of course, Logan Stieber, big win this summer. No, I guess it was last spring actually, over then #1 ranked in the world, Opansad of Russia. He beat him out at the Beat the Streets Rumble on the Rails in New York City.
Stieber's a guy been wrestling the country and the world's best since he's in high school. He's active on the senior ladder for a while there.
World runner-up, I believe, a couple years back.
Junior world.
Junior, thank you. And he fires off another shot. Stieber to the leg. This is where he's tough. He gets those singles and cuts them back. Great defense here by Maple. Gets his hips back, avoids danger, and he's back up to his feet, controlling the front headlock. As the refs look underneath. We got 7 seconds to go in the first period, and it's 2-1. Logan Stieber with the lead.
Last year, Kendric Maple was a part of the All-Star Classic where he was voted the most outstanding wrestler.
You hear Brian Hazard. If you didn't, Ken just announced Kendric Maple was, of course, here at the All-Star last year and also won the OW. So, big win by him. The golden voice, Brian Hazard.
Now we'll see Stieber take top again in the second period. He still leads 2-1
Well, I don't
over
think he
Maple.
took top.
Excuse me. He'll take top, as in he will assume the position.
Oh,
He will
okay.
cover, if you will.
Excuse me.
Maple chooses bottom.
Maple chooses bottom. Stieber takes top.
17 seconds of advantage time
Something
for
like that.
Stieber.
Something like that. And
Make that 20
still have
seconds.
not seen
We're
Stieber
tied
able
just
to
like that.
ride.
A quick escape by Maple. 2-2 on the scoreboard. Just 10 seconds into the second period. 21 seconds of riding time in favor of Logan. Stieber, great reshot here by Maple. He gets in on the leg. He's to the corner. Stieber's got a shallow whizzer. He's basically just caught. He let go of it totally now. Maple's got him hopping on a foot. And there's a takedown for Kendric Maple. He's going to take his first lead of the match. 4-2 with a minute and a half to go in the second period.
And that's vintage Maple there with the reshot. That's how he gets a lot of his takedowns. Times it so well, and right now he's showing to be the better top wrestler too.
Got the riding time back down to 0. Now it's going positive upward in favor of Maple.
And we got 1:05 left in the second period. And Stieber gonna need to get out here. 4-2, Maple leads. 6 seconds of riding time for Maple. 1:05 remain in the second period.
1 minute to go.
Maple brings him back to the mat. It's got Logan's head buried, catches a near wrist. You can see Maple just driving off of his toes, off of his inseams. And a quick up and escape for Logan Stieber, or quick cutaway as soon as it got up to his feet. Maple jammed a finger or something, it looks like. Maybe popped out of place, I'm not sure. He's tough as they come, though. He's going to shake it off. 4-3 on the scoreboard, 42 seconds to go. Maple ahead of Stieber. Second period.
And you got to wonder if it's that reshot is in Stieber's head a little bit. He's got to pick his spots a little bit more. He's never one to, Logan Stieber is to take his foot off the gas offensively. Always looking to score. But when you give up a takedown like that, it's got to hang in the back of your mind to an extent.
149, Stieber at 141.
15 seconds to go in the second period. And not, like you said, I don't think we're going to see a whole lot of offense. Maple takes 2 knees. Stieber just looks at him. 2 seconds to go, and that's going to be it. We're going to head into the third period. 4-3, Kendric Maple with the lead. Choice goes to Logan Stieber. He's going to go underneath. Maple set to cover on top. Kendric Maple has 22 seconds of riding time.
So just
FYI.
Yeah, 38 seconds. If he can ride 38 seconds, you got to get that riding time point, and that could be huge. So it's up to Stieber to get out in less than 38 seconds to knot this match up at 4.
Stieber up to his feet. Maple hanging on.
Cuts out again.
And he's got a really good cutaway, Stieber, as soon as he gets up to his feet. So we're knotted at 4, 32 seconds of riding time in favor of Kendric Maple, but I don't think it's going to go there. I think it's going to get settled on their feet. Somebody's going to get a takedown in the next 1 minute, 35 seconds.
Coming down to period number 3.
And both guys a little less active on their feet, working motion.
There's that overcollar shrug you alluded to earlier. Stieber is super tough there, and also, as you alluded to, Christian, Stieber's going to be much more choosy on his shots because of that quick reshot, the reattack that Maple scored on there in the second.
Absolutely. And that's where Maple's great, and we're seeing Maple take a knee. He's going to be a little more defensive.
And Stieber shot towards the edge, kind of a safe shot.
Ooh, almost catches the ankle. And Stieber been the more offensive wrestler so far. 1:06 to go, 4-4.
Anything less. Come on, fans.
A minute left in regulation. Still tied at 4.
This is as good as it could get, man. Like, tied, under a minute to go, riding time not a factor. A takedown's going to decide this thing.
Yep.
If not now, in overtime. But I truly think it's going to be a takedown and not a ride out. I could be proven wrong. Only time will tell.
I think you're going to be right, Bader. Stieber continues to take ground. Maple continues to back up.
And take a knee.
Yeah.
Well, he's back up now, but he was on 2 knees there for a moment as we had 35 seconds to go.
And it'll be interesting to see if the refs get involved here calling a stall warning on Maple, who's just content to sit on his knee. But there he fires off a shot, might buy him some time in the eyes of the officials.
23 seconds. We are tied. Headed for overtime, it looks to be. We'll see if we can settle in regulation. 15 seconds left. And it doesn't look, you don't see the urgency on either guy. Maybe they're playing possum and someone's going to fire off an attack at the last second. I don't see it happening as we're down
6 seconds to go. And we're looking at overtime here. Put a minute on the board. 1 minute, sudden victory overtime. We're tied at 4-4.
Because we're going to sudden victory overtime.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
1 minute on the clock.
Our main event is delivering as promised. Stieber and Maple, 4-4, sudden victory. Somebody's going down. And Maple again taking those knees, scooting backwards,
Once again, that
trying to
redirect.
reshot.
Stieber, both guys really look like they upped their
Stieber
pace.
attacks on the edge again. He gets to the leg. And Maple's foot hits the hardwood floor, so that's out of bounds.
Automatically. And we see both guys really kind of turn up the heat a little bit and getting a little more motion going, as I don't think either guy wants to go down on the mat for this. Really good motion from Stieber. But Maple continues to back up and back up.
You're absolutely right, and the refs haven't said anything about it to this point, but he's been going backwards way more than
and look at this,
Stieber,
stepping over.
He's going to try to step over, but he can clear that right arm. His toe is in bounds.
Wow.
But the referee called it out.
Interesting contrast. They're so quick to call Howe for stalling, and yet Maple continues
14
to back
seconds
up.
to go.
And on the sweep.
And there he goes.
There's
Finally a
the
stall
warning.
call on Maple. Stieber has him. Oh, and Maple kicks out. Wow, great defense by Kendric Maple. Logan Stieber hustles back to the center. Kendric Maple a little bit slower to get there.
Wow.
6
Great
seconds to go.
exchange.
And Maple fires off a shot. Maple now in position to possibly score. Oh, wow. Stieber steps over at the very end. Time's out. No score. We're going to the right out. Woo!
And we'll see how that stall call looms here. Don't know if it'll play in effect. 30 seconds, 4-4. We'll go to the rideouts now.
First point was Stieber, right? He got a takedown in the first period.
And the ref will go with Mark Bader's word on that one.
That's right. Am I not right?
You were right.
Yeah. Well, there was confusion, so I thought I'd jump up and yell what actually happened.
That's what you should do.
That's what I did.
That's why I'm proud of you.
Thank you, Christian.
The riding time is at 0. We're going to start with it now because it can make a big difference.
They need to put 30 back on.
They put riding time back to 0, so that only plays here in overtime. They're going to keep track of that, though. If it gets to that, then it gets to that. Stieber underneath, Maple on top. Logan up to his feet. Kendric catches the ankle, brings him back to the mat, has him on his hip. Great place for Kendric Maple to be over on the edge, eating clock. That's another good spot for him to be. Stieber, though, trying to catch a possible
got a cradle locked up.
Stieber on the edge, looking for a cradle. But I don't know if he's going to have the room, and now he's just eating clock, and that actually played into the advantage.
There's
of
the
Kendric
two reversal
Maple.
at the
Oh,
buzzer.
They called two
He gets the
reversal right
reversal.
before the buzzer. That was huge.
I
I'll
think
give
that
him
was the
credit.
right call.
I said Stieber's in trouble because he's going for that cradle and he's not going to get it. It's eating clock and he's not getting any points. But against what I just said, give him all the credit in the world. He stuck with it and was able to actually get that reversal right at the end. Were they in? Were they out? I don't know. The referee called it in. So he's going to get the points. And now Stieber on top where he's a bear.
And now he's really looking to turn
And he's
off
got
the
a
pace.
deep tight sway. He's almost touching the spine of Maple.
Yeah.
And Maple flat on the mat, on his belly. Logan Stieber in the driver's seat, 15 seconds to go.
And with 10 seconds, Stieber can afford to give up the escape here. And here we go, 2-1.
And
Stieber!
that's gonna be it.
Stieber
One
comes
match.
out and takes the win. And
Logan
away from the
Stieber
crowd.
in overtime with the reversal. Napoli, Taffur, 157-pound match underway, and I gotta say, I love that mustache.
Yep, that one's been cared for. It's beautiful.
Taking good care of it. Boston University got a wrestler out on the mat. Lehigh, of course, being represented here.
From Boiling Springs, Pennsylvania, a Pennsylvania state
Napoli had a tough year last year. He was solid the whole regular season. Earned the 4 seed at NCAAs and you know, kind of inexplicably went 2 and out. A real surprise of the NCAA tournament, and it'll be interesting to see. This is his first time back in action since the NCAA tournament. Taffur, a guy who's been in the rankings most of his career, really tough guy, good on top, good leg rider, and he's got some good leg attacks as well. So Napoli is probably your favorite here, but Taffur is definitely a tough opponent for Napoli of Lehigh.
Formidable might be the word. Coming up with a formidable opponent. That's it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm using that word correctly,
He
right?
is absolutely formidable, Bader. I completely agree. Formidable.
Formidable? Formidable?
That's a Virginia Mizzou difference.
Limit.
Tomato, tomato.
Mark Weeder.
Napoli, real tough to score on. Nice sweep single and tough on top. We saw him beat Dylan Alton last year. That was kind of his breakthrough win last year that kind of entered him into the conversation. Both guys just feeling each other out so far. No one really committed to a shot just yet.
Taffur joins Earl Walker as the
Napoli
only
heavy
other
on the
Boston
head.
University wrestler to
Good
be
position
selected
from
for the All-Star
Taffur.
Classic.
Taffur, of course, from Boston University, a program that is in jeopardy, and this is a great spot for Boston University to get some notoriety, and to have a wrestler selected for the All-Star match is huge for them.
4 from the All-Star Classic. 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 4 from the All-Star
Hands to the face from Taffur.
Napoli, a two-time PA state finalist and a 2008 champion for Cumberland
Napoli from
Valley.
Boiling Springs, Pennsylvania. Taffur from Bound Brook, New Jersey. High school of, which is the high school of Andrew Campolatano. .34 to go. Still no score here in our 157-pound match. Remember, we're going out of order. We went 125, 133. Now we're at 157. Then we're going to jump up to 184. So no, it's a different order, but it's going to be great. And we're going to cap the night off with Logan Stieber against Kendric Maple, 2 undefeated national champions. 10 to go. More hands in the face from Taffur. And that'll do it for the first period. 0-0 still, and the ref will flip the disc. Comes up Taffur.
And no score, we go to period 2.
Taffur's going to go bottom, and this is definitely an area of strength for Napoli. So Taffur being able to get out would be huge for him. Up quick, good hand control from Napoli. No first move there, so great job by Taffur, knowing the urgency you have to get away from a tough rider like Napoli, and he gets away with little issue. 3 seconds.
Official event merchandise is on sale at the South Concourse. There are limited sizes and quantities available.
A few level changes so far from Napoli, but not a real commitment to a shot as of yet. 2-on-1 for Taffur.
And that's the South Concourse.
And they clear out. Napoli's trying to stay heavy on that head.
T-shirts available from the All-Star Classic.
More hands to the face from Taffur.
This is 157 pounds. Our 141 and 149 co-main events will be our last 2 bouts of the evening.
We got 46 to go here in the second period.
40 seconds to go, period number 2.
More hands in the face, but not really committing, just kind of slapping the face just to do it so far. And 20 seconds to go here in the second period. 2 seniors battling here, both looking for their first All-American finish this season. There's a little sweep attempt. Reshot from Taffur, but that's how the second period will end. Napoli going to go under. And we'll see if Taffur's able to get his legs in. He's a solid leg rider, but Napoli typically doesn't have issues from bottom. Maybe looking for a near side cradle is Taffur. Napoli building, getting hands, trying to get that hip separation. And they're now on a re-attack, but riding time still going for Taffur. And Napoli close to a reversal, gonna look to get his head and reach across. Taffur has that far ankle. Napoli really close, and there's the 2, and he's real close to getting near fall here, looking for maybe a near side cradle. And he takes a 2-1 lead. Riding time not a factor as of yet. 1:10 to go in this match. Napoli got a wrist, trying to keep that forward pressure. He's got an ankle. Now it's Taffur looking to come out and get a reversal of his own. Interesting situation here. Going to be tough for either guy to really come out on top. Probably going to see a stalemate, but Taffur's building up. And he could be getting near fall here.
is Napoli, but nothing doing. Taffur continues to be close to a reversal. Crowd asking for 2, but I don't see it that way yet. Napoli's still behind. Napoli looking to finish here. And he's eating up a lot of clock with this restraint. Just 25 seconds to go. And the longer they let this go, the better it is for Napoli.
So here's your, excuse me, there's your out of bounds, 2-1, 16 seconds to go in the match.
Very game effort from Taffur here. And he's still got a chance. If he can get away, he'll tie it up. And we saw in the second he was able to get away with 3 seconds. If he can duplicate that, be no problem. And you see Napoli drops down to a leg.
12 seconds to go. 10 seconds. Oh, interesting little exchange there.
And there's the stall call, but Napoli can afford to get out. That's just a warning right now. 5 seconds to go. But Taffur has been so close to getting away. It's still very much in the balance here. And Taffur, don't be surprised if you see him maybe jump the whistle a little bit. No. Looking for a roll.
Look at this.
Nothing.
Wow. Close at the end. They're going to say nothing.
Wow. Great match. Very game effort from Taffur. Napoli just a little bit better on the mat. And ultimately, that was the difference. Great win for Joey Napoli.
NCAA champion, 3-time finalist, 3 losses on his college career to go along with the Hodge Trophy. No big deal. Moreno, kind of a breakout season, though, last year at Iowa State, earns All-American honors.
Yeah, he placed 6th, unseated. Nice slide by. Taylor can score in so many different ways. Slide bys, leg attacks, and he is so nasty on top. And Moreno's going to come in a huge underdog here, as most guys will against Taylor this year.
And Taylor working on that arm bar half, and he's,
potentially near fall.
He circles through and kicks the referee at the same time. Maybe that's because he was upset that the ref called it potentially dangerous.
Yeah.
Ref took a foot to the head.
2-0 early for Taylor. 2:35 to go in this first period.
And he trying to get a leg in on the right side, decides to tilt him up instead. He's getting a count here. I believe there's 2 in the bank. Referee holding 2. And he's going to award it 4-0. David Taylor, now he's got a half. Let's go with that. Throws a leg in, cross body ride. And he just takes his time on top and seems to have his way with a lot of opponents.
He's got so many turns, so many ways to score. Just relentless on top.
I thought he was going to lock up an arm bar with his left side. Still potentially could go there.
Of his 100 career victories, 93 bonus point victories.
Brian Hazard alluded to the bonus point prowess. He's got 100 wins, 93 by bonus.
And look at this again. He goes half bar. He went to the half side. Wow, only 7 wins in his college career without bonus?
Yeah, that's nuts.
I think I only had 7 with bonus.
We can't all be David Taylor, Bader.
All-American last year, finishing 6th.
And so he got another 2 count there on that kind of roll through. Now looking cross-face cradle.
David Taylor up 6-0. Minute 25 to go here in the first period. Comes cross wrist over the top.
And the thing about David Taylor, you're not safe anywhere. On your feet, on top, on bottom. He's relentless, always looking to score. And it's going to be a real tough spot here for Moreno. 1:07 to go, and Taylor's going to kick him loose. But as I said, that's not safety for Moreno.
So fun to watch he is. And, he saw the improvement he made, and he really made a jump even on the senior level this year. Second in the U.S. Open, 3rd at the team trials, a win over Andrew Howe.
Yeah.
And David Taylor is right there with the best guys in our country.
Absolutely. He's right there. And
look at that, just smooth-like, gets to the leg. Moreno actually able to defend that one, but right behind it's going to come another shot, another ankle pick attempt, another snap down as, you're just going to see Taylor go from one thing right to the next. Front headlock, dresser dump perhaps. Jumps over the hips even before they hit the mat, and they give the 2 points to Taylor there. Makes it 8-1 with 25 seconds to go in the first period, and Taylor
potentially dangerous to call.
They're going to stop another one with potentially dangerous, but he's looking good at this point in the driver's seat.
We got a pair of Olympic champs in their respective course. Kevin Jackson, the Iowa State coach, and this Cale Sanderson guy.
Cale Sanderson guy.
I don't know if you're familiar.
Yeah, I heard of him.
Penn State, an
pretty
up-and-coming program. I think they're gonna be all right.
Yeah, that guy, Cale Sanderson, and the Penn State program's okay.
Yeah.
Something like that.
They're all right.
3-time defending NCAA champions, and at this point, poised to do it again.
Got to be considered the favorite.
It's their time right now for sure. Taylor again with that deep half crab, and he's going to take Moreno over. Wow. I don't know how he didn't get any. Kudos to Moreno right there for defending that and not giving up any points. So after one period, David Taylor leads by 7 points. It's 8-1 on the scoreboard, and he's got 2:17 on the riding time clock. Looking good.
Yep, that's vintage Taylor so far.
It just looks cool as can be out there, enjoying himself, having fun.
And that's something you hear the Penn State guys mention a lot. We have fun, and they wrestle loose, and they wrestle a more wide open style. And, you know, maybe that's one of their keys to success, other than having really good wrestlers.
That helps.
That does help.
And he comes right back to that crab ride half. You see him. Oh, and he's going to go the other way. Taylor's just persistent here. He wants this half. I'll give Moreno credit, man. He's fighting this off. A lot of people can't stay out of this. Moreno is. And to not give up back points, in my opinion, right there, it's kind of impressive.
Yeah. It's interesting to see Taylor go for the same turn so many times. We'll see him go from one turn. If that's not working, he'll go to a tilt. If that's not working, something else. He's got such a wide variety of turns in there. Now he's going to the tilt.
He goes 2-on-1. He lets it go. Slips legging on the right side as we dip down towards 1 minute to go here in the period. 8-1 on the scoreboard. 3:15 on the riding time for David Taylor. Obviously, that continues to move up. It's over 3:20, and we're just under a minute to go here now in the second period.
And good stalemate call. No one's really working. No one's able to improve their situation. 49 seconds to go. 3:28. Yeah, as you see a shot of the scoreboard.
Moreno set underneath. Taylor's to cover on top. Check that. Taylor's going to kick him free, give him a point, and look to work for another takedown. Moreno fires off a shot. It's not there. Taylor battles back inside for position. Taylor continues to come forward. Moreno really just trying to fend off attacks. And you look at that, and as soon as he stops just trying to defend, and Moreno tries to get offensive himself, it plays right into David Taylor's game, and Taylor circles behind, defends it, and has a counter takedown there. He leads 10-2 now with 13 seconds to go in the second period.
3:46 and climbing of riding time. It's locked up already, so it's effectively 11-2 right now. So 8 to go. Moreno's on bottom again.
Again, he slips that leg in on the right side. Tries to take him back. Maybe got a one count. Maybe he didn't. But regardless, neither one is enough for points. So today you see it 10-2. Taylor's going to carry that lead in the third period, and he's going to start underneath.
Pete Huntley and Lloyd Keiser for the red.
Be interesting to see if Moreno commits much to a ride. Taylor's so dangerous on bottom. Wow.
And he does commit to it. He stays on top of that strong claw ride. He's going to come to a spiral with his right hand. Try to bring Taylor back to the mat. He drops to a single leg. David Taylor, Wizard, steps over. He's going to go through that little roll through tilt there. And you got to think that there he is. He locks it up. Taylor tries to bring him over. Moreno still in control, though. Riding time moving down, though. Although you said, Christian, it's locked up. So paying attention to it doesn't mean all that much, although I'll probably continue to say the time just because I'm used to it.
Nothing wrong with that. Keep the people informed as you
Minute
see a shot of the scoreboard.
27 to go here in the bout. David Taylor up by 8. Ooh, Taylor momentarily looked like he was going to gram it at the last second, decided not to.
Moreno riding really tough so far.
45 seconds down in the period. Moreno's still on top. I mean, that right there in itself is, again, impressive. I know he's not scoring points, but to me that's, small victories, and maybe he sees David Taylor later this season. He has more confidence and can keep this thing even closer, or who knows, perhaps pull out a victory.
The unthinkable. There have been bigger upsets.
And I don't mean to cut him off. This match isn't over.
Right,
You know, anything can happen. We're not just going to stop and raise David Taylor's hand here. We got another 59 seconds to go.
59 seconds. He's ridden a minute and 1 already. A great accomplishment for Moreno.
And Moreno
Taylor.
again brings it back to the mat. Taylor having trouble getting away. Moreno hanging on to a single leg now. And we could maybe see this stalemated. Maybe not. 40 seconds to go. No change in position. And now they're going to call stalling on Moreno, his first warning.
So 37 to go. 10 to effectively 11-2 in favor of David Taylor over Michael Moreno.
Status for the Cyclones. His dad Mike finished 7th in 1992.
Moreno drops to a leg again, starts to climb back up the body. As soon as he does, he's looking to Turk David Taylor, trap the hips. He catches the far ankle, so he's still in control. Throws a leg in on the near side. They head towards the out of bounds, and he needs to hang on to that ankle as Taylor feels like he's into a scramble position, and it looks like he's starting to get comfortable. Moreno still in control. Taylor trying to eke his hips over on top, and he's going to do it as they roll out of bounds. There's still a toe inbounds for Moreno, so that keeps the action going. The referee stops it as they go out of bounds with 3 seconds to go. He gives David Taylor the reversal. He's up 12-2. Add on the riding time. Give it 3 seconds. Final score is going to be 13-2 if nothing changes. David Taylor is going to win this thing with 2 minutes and 6 seconds of riding time. The Magic Man comes out, puts on a show, gets a major decision victory.
Nice win, but a great showing from Moreno. Very game effort on his part.
So here we go. Howe back off a little bit of a layoff. He wrestled his last season was 11? Yeah, his last college season was 2011. He had an injury. He had an Olympic red shirt and then a regular red shirt.
Yep.
So he came in, took second as a true freshman, won it as a true sophomore, and then was third, not at 100% in 2011.
Behind this Jordan Burroughs guy, you may have heard of
But he
him.
actually lost to Caldwell.
Yeah, in the semis. But he took a Midlands loss to Burroughs as well. And these are two guys, really skilled hand fighters. Like to beat up on
And
that.
nice job. Howe transitions to the high single, gets behind. Brown still standing, but Howe's going to lift and put him on the mat, and Howe strikes first. And that's the Andrew Howe we remember.
Yep, that's how he gets the legs from his hand fighting. He's really tough. He's not going to wow. He's not going to put tons of points on the board, but he can really separate from high-level opponents.
He leads 2-0 with 2:15 to go here in the first period as Matt Brown makes his way back to his feet. Howe going to let him go. He halfway earned it. Howe maybe halfway let him go, but he was going to get out, I think, anyways. Howe recognized that. And it's 2-1 now. 2 minutes to go in the first period.
Howe not only very gifted offensively, great leg attacks, but extremely difficult to take down. Great front headlock. You know, he's took down Jordan Burroughs a few times with his front headlock. He's so good there.
Position, position, position. I think that's tattooed on his ceiling, so when he goes to sleep at night, that's what he reads.
Someone call that painted, Bader. People don't tattoo ceilings.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Okay.
Anywho.
Shut up, Christian.
And
I was saying tattoo to make emphasis.
I got you, buddy. It's more permanent that way.
Sure.
Howe continuing to wear on the head, taking ground, and it's nice to see him up at 174. He was a big 65. He's a big 74. He looks bigger than Brown.
And you know, and in the same sense, he makes 163.
Yeah.
You know, he made 163 in what was that, late June, when we had the World Team Trials in Stillwater.
And in my opinion, if you compare his university trials where he looked great at 174, and then his World Team trials, he looked a lot more sluggish to me. Wasn't as sharp, and I think the cut is having an effect on him. It'll be interesting to see if he commits to 163 internationally, or if he's gonna say, hey, what the heck, I'll go up to 84.
Well, let's not also, you know, his competition at World Team Trials was another level.
Well,
you know, he had Dake, he had Taylor, he had, you know, but to your point, he had a tough Logan Storley in the finals at universities, and he wrecked him.
Yeah,
he just
massacred.
Torched him in 2 matches. So.
Yep.
And Storley is no slouch. You know, Storley's a stud.
Absolutely. Brown and Storley went back and forth last year. Storley won early, and Brown, of course, the NCAA semifinal winner.
Here we go. 11 seconds to go in the first period. Just 2-1 on the score. Howe looks for a high leg attack. It's not there. Looks like we're going to cut this period out or end this period out. Anyways, 2-1, and there you have it.
Howe injured his knee in the Olympic trials finals against Burroughs. Had to have surgery, ACL surgery, I believe. So, you know, this is his first time wrestling folk style since that injury.
Oh, he jumped the gun. I saw that. Can't do that, Matt Brown. One caution on the board. Sanderson and Cunningham, they hanging out 2 matches in a row in the corner.
Yeah.
And Howe now has the leg in the air. Second match for Sanderson and Cunningham. Also second match that we see Frayer and Leitner in the corner. Of course, we'll see them one more time in the main event when they corner Kendric Maple as he takes on Logan Stieber at 149.
Big return for Howe.
Howe drops to a high
Interesting to see him to commit to the ride like this.
And he's at 28 seconds of riding time in favor of Andrew Howe. We got 1:41 to go here in the second period. Andrew Howe leads 2-1.
And Brown able to get to that tripod right away, but so far hasn't been able to get the hand control necessary to earn the takedown.
And he wants to get that 1 minute, obviously.
Yeah.
He's at 37 seconds of riding time.
Of advantage time, 1:33 to go. Period number 2.
Midway through. No, 30 seconds into the second period. It would be midway through if it was a 3-minute period.
Right.
But it's 2. Oh, thought he jumped again. Maybe he just timed it perfectly. And again, we see Howe drop to that high crotch. He's going to try to ride. 45 up on the riding time now. Howe brings him to the edge, lifts, and takes him out of bounds. And there's a stall call on Andrew Howe.
Call there. I feel like Howe, he's been working for the return. I mean, no, he hasn't been close to turning him, but he's trying to take him back down on the mat. But the ref wants to see more top action. And don't be surprised if we see him cut Brown loose here, as he doesn't want to give up a stall point.
He wants to get that 1 minute. He's at 55, 56, 7, 8. And there you go. We got the 1 minute riding time, 1:01 now in favor of Andrew Howe. Let's see what do you think he's going to do. Is he going to kick him away?
I don't know.
You got to think he wants to get more, actually. Sorry, I asked you a question, and then I cut you off because I thought of the answer in my head.
Yeah.
He knows that Brown's going to be on top, so he needs to get more than 1:01. He needs to give himself enough time to get away second period or third period.
Unless he's considering not even taking bottom and wants to go neutral, he feels he's got enough of an advantage. But he's got to be careful he doesn't get hit for stalling here. He's got to work up.
I think he is working up. Now he can't be down on the legs. Now he needs to climb. He is
really
climbing.
Surprised to see him.
And I see Jared Frayer jumping out of his chair yelling something, and I wonder if he's telling him to kick him away. And there's that riding time. I don't know that I agree with that. Now what do you do?
I don't. This is a big tactical error from Howe. I'm really surprised to see him commit so much to the ride. He's had such a clear advantage on his feet. Let him go. Don't give him a free point. And but he really wants to get this ride out.
He's still got 39 seconds left in this period, and he could get hit again.
39 seconds, and he hasn't had anything close to resembling a breakdown. More or less just returning from leg attacks. And but he's still committed here to this ride, and that's very, very interesting tactic.
Stalemate the call.
They stalemate that one.
24 seconds to go, period. Number 2.
Kale gets out of his chair, claps his hand encouragingly, looking at Brown. Howe on top, 24 seconds to go here in the second period. We're tied at 2, and 2 stalling calls against Andrew Howe thus far. Will he get hit once again?
He needs to look for a breakdown here. Can't just stand behind. He needs to look to return. He's going to get hit again. He's got to return here. Got to return quick. 10 seconds to go.
And Brown trying to get away. Brown trying to stay in bounds, and they're going to hit. Andrew Howe yet again for stalling. So looking back in time, it would have been easy to say that he should have cut him away.
Yeah.
After he got the riding time.
I feel like we're the only ones. I feel like we saw this coming, and it's such an interesting turn of events.
Well, you know, it was after that second stalling call. What do you do?
Yeah.
Right? Do you give him an escape? Do you try to ride? Now, it's essentially like he got that second stall call and then cut him.
Yeah.
Except now he still has 2:09 riding time.
Yeah.
So in that sense,
you know, he can still, with an escape in under a minute 9, he can have a 4-3 lead.
What's up?
And now we'll see Brown take top. And Howe, as I mentioned before, tough to ride. And see, this was my point. Howe is fine on bottom. He didn't need so much riding time. And, you know, effectively, at the end of the day, he's in the lead for right now with 2 minutes of riding time with 1:38 to go. So it's 3-3 on the scoreboard, 2 minutes of riding time for Howe, 1:30 left in this match. And we're going to see some more hand fighting here between Howe and Brown.
And I didn't really see Howe stalling on his feet before. He keeps really good position. He doesn't fire off tons of shots, but neither does Matt Brown.
No. And so far on their feet, it's been Howe's been taking ground. Howe's been the one taking attacks, not Brown. And that's true to form for Matt Brown. He's not going to be a guy that gets a high volume of leg attacks. But when he commits to a shot, he typically can get in deep and get himself in position to finish.
And here's the thing. Right now, watching this and seeing that first period up to now, I'm viewing Andrew Howe as the better wrestler on the feet, right? But here's the thing. It just takes one.
Yeah.
One solid shot by Brown to get the takedown. One slip by Howe, and bam, Matt Brown could have the lead.
Yep, you see it all the time in these close matches. The better guy doesn't always win. Not that I'm saying Matt Brown isn't better than Andrew Howe, but you can steal a match when you don't pull away from an inferior opponent. And Brown, Howe continues to take the ground, coming forward. Neither guy really committed to an attack. There's one, and here's where Howe's tough, front headlock, and he needs to fire off a shot. 15 seconds to go.
Howe's not. I don't think they're going to ding him for stalling again. He hasn't been stalling.
And there he's got the pancake.
Howe tries to take him over his back. Not going to happen. 7 seconds to go. We are tied, but Howe has the riding time advantage. So look for Brown to fire off 1, 2, maybe 3 attacks. One, another one. And look, he can't because Andrew Howe just keeps such good position.
And there's the win.
Andrew Howe's going to take this final score 4-3. He wins it on the riding time advantage after giving up 2 stall calls.
And here we go, Sheptock Schwartz, and that voice you hear in the background, Robin Ficker, super fan from Maryland. He goes everywhere with them. And you're going to see 2 guys here. They like to wrestle within themselves. They're not. Schwartz, especially, he's not going to beat himself. He's going to pick his spots for his leg attacks. Sheptock likes a high single, but he'll shoot a sweep as well as a double leg. As we said, there's some familiarity there. These 2 met at the NCAA tournament, 3-2 win for Sheptock.
4-time CAA conference champions and 2-time CAA coach of the year.
Sheptock, your blue wrestler from Maryland. Schwartz in red from Boise State.
And there, as you alluded to, Robin Ficker in the background, he's going to be loud for the entire match. He enjoys being obnoxious, and some people love him, some people hate him, but everybody knows him.
Everybody knows him, and
he brings an interesting element to the crowd, to matches, and sometimes I'm like, oh, just shut up. But sometimes I think it's hilarious.
Both redshirt seniors.
Can't have your cake and eat it too. Does that even make sense what I just said?
It doesn't have to, Bader. It's just with you.
Thanks, Christian.
Top 12 last season.
So we are a minute 38 into this one, and a minute 38 left in the first period, about midway point, and we're tied at 0.
Good motion from Schwartz, looking to open up Sheptock, now going underhook.
Schwartz, a 3-time Washington
really beating up on the head
for Auburn High School.
Is Schwartz, Washington native.
Fargo Junior Freestyle Champion for USA Wrestling.
And he continues to open up Sheptock with his fakes in motion. Not yet committed to a shot, though, yet.
1 minute to go, period number 1.
1 minute to go, first period. We are scoreless, and I didn't hear exactly what he said, but Ficker yelled something and
squeezed his head like a grapefruit.
And a chorus of chuckles, I guess, from the fans around him and adjoining sections.
For the Bronx.
40 seconds to go in the first period. No score. Sheptock and Schwartz. Down to 30 to go.
And just a lot of hand fighting so far. No real commitments to any leg attacks as of yet.
15 ticks to go here in the first period. Still scoreless, like you said, Christian. Not a whole lot of committed shots to this point.
And two guys that don't necessarily light up the scoreboard, really good positional wrestlers, are not going to beat themselves. And, you know, there's some familiarity there, so that can breed kind of a conservative game plan from both guys.
Absolutely, and like I said, you know, that's why I'm so excited about the 149 match coming, and 33, because those guys aren't going to wrestle each other again. They're just going to let it all hang out and not worry about, did I say 33?
Yeah.
I'm at 41.
Sheptock down, Schwartz in the top
They're not
position.
worried about saving something for the matches they might have later with their opponents.
Right.
This is the only time they're going to wrestle, and it's awesome. Thank you to all four of you guys for doing it.
Absolutely, completely agree. Echo those sentiments. Hand control for Sheptock, and he's out.
First point on the board goes to Sheptock. He's up 1-0, minute 45 to go here in the second period.
Sheptock finished 6th last year, pulled an upset in the round of 12, beating Kevin Steinhaus of Minnesota, who was a two-time All-American. So Sheptock finally breaks through, gets an All-American finish as a junior, and Schwartz really getting heavy on the head. Still no shots, and there's a sweep attempt from Sheptock, nothing doing.
1-0, minute 12 to go in the second period. And
There
there's
it
a
is.
shot from the outside, gets to the corner, circles around, has the leg. In on the ankle, circles to the corner. Of course, they scoot towards the edge slowly as he's got this position, and he may lose it. He's behind the knee as they swing towards the edge.
Tough spot to finish here for Sheptock.
I don't know if he's going to have enough room, even though they're still in bounds, to be able to finish this and circle behind him or get Schwartz facing the other way. And I spoke too soon. Schwartz on his hip has a wizard. They say nothing. And
well defended by Schwartz.
They go out of bounds and say nothing. No score on that exchange anyway. Still 1-0 Sheptock with the lead. 39 seconds to go here in the second period. Woo!
Nice exchange, both
Fourth
guys.
match of the night.
Awesome defense from Schwartz there. Way to use a wizard.
And now the fans behind us laughing. I'm still not hearing every word he's saying, but I'm sure it's comical. 22 seconds to go. 1-0 Sheptock with the lead. 13 seconds of riding time in favor of Schwartz.
15 seconds to go. Period number 2.
And you got to wonder, Schwartz traveled all the way across the country for this match. Sheptock of Maryland just down the road here. You wonder if the travel, the fatigue that goes along with traveling, if that's going to play any role. We'll see if we see any signs of fatigue in Schwartz as the match goes on.
On that note, whether or not it plays, it plays some role. I don't know if it's going to make any decision in this match, but being able to sleep close to here and versus having to come out of Boise and fly to God knows where and connect somewhere else and maybe connect somewhere else and get here. And a long day of travel will wear you out. Absolutely.
Sheptock tough on top, likes to get wrists and tilts, but he's not going to get the ride going on Schwartz just yet.
And so that's it. We're tied 1-1. Riding time literally exactly at 0. And we got a minute 40 to go to decide this thing. Otherwise, we're going to see overtime once again.
And I'd like to see Schwartz open up a little bit more here. He's so far, he's been able to get Sheptock a bit open up, but just not committed to his sweep.
Riding time. All zeros on the board.
.110 to go, knotted at 1. Riding time, not a factor one bit.
Hope you patronize.
Here we go. 1 minute left.
All of our wrestling
What do you think,
supporters.
Christian? Are we going to finish this in regulation or are we going overtime?
I think we're probably seeing overtime. You know, Sheptock's, you know, he kind of, you never know when he's going to strike. Schwartz doesn't look like he's interested in committing just yet, but like we saw in the Patterson match, some of these guys will just let it fly when you least suspect it.
Yeah, absolutely.
40
Patterson
seconds
fired off
to
that
go.
shot. I wasn't expecting
No.
an overtime, which created the scramble that Garrett scored on. Schwartz keeping good position, stops that shot with his head. or just doesn't allow that shot to really happen. And we're down to 20 seconds to go. 1-1, Sheptock and Schwartz.
Really solid head-hands defense from both guys. Great position. Nice sweep.
There we go, single leg. Immediately, as soon as Sheptock got in, Schwartz brought that up, and Schwartz again defends the shot, squares up, faces him. 5 seconds to go. They're going to stare at each other, and we're going to go into overtime yet again.
And you got to favor Sheptock here. He's been the guy that's been able to get to the legs consistently. Haven't seen the leg attack yet from Schwartz. And on their feet, it looks like Sheptock has the advantage, but so far that hasn't proven, hasn't shown up yet on the scoreboard.
Minute on the, well, we had a minute on the clock. We're down to 30 seconds now in this
There's the
overtime
sweep.
period. Schwartz fires off a shot. Sheptock,
Free
shot on the edge and catches the ankle. Jimmy takedown. Jimmy Sheptock. Oh, McMullan. And he's going to take this one. And, of course,
and the
waving his flag in the back is Robin
overtime win
Sheptock, though,
from the University
catches
of
the ankles
Maryland.
on the edge and scores the takedown.
Sheptock.
Sheptock walks away your winner. Here we go, 197. As you said, Christian, number 1 versus number 2. Meeks holding that number 1 spot. Schiller wanting to knock him off and make it his year at 197. That's Schiller in the red from Minnesota. Meeks in the blue representing the Beavers of Oregon State.
McCormick, our official.
The legendary J-Rob in the corner there for Schiller.
Both of these athletes, red shirt.
And 97, just a wide open weight this year. These two are on top, but it's going to be anyone's match, and it'll be interesting to see if Schiller's able to take that top spot early in the season.
Compete in the All-Star Classic since 2007.
And I got the fortune to see a handful of Big Ten dual meets at the end of the second semester last year, and I got to watch Schiller. It just looked like he excelled and turned it up and improved quite a bit. I don't know if he lost, but maybe he won regular season 1 or 2 second semester matches, if at all. And I saw him, beat a lot of good guys. So it's fun to see him. And of course, Meeks, he said, had a couple big wins over him last year. So and Meeks now with the underhooks, double unders, trying to take Schiller to the edge. He does.
And Meeks is content to defend and counter. And I think Schiller's not going to beat himself. This time in their duel earlier, Schiller would have fired off 3 or 4 shots, gotten in deep, but had given up some takedowns. So I think he's going to pick his spots a little bit more. And that's a noticeable adjustment from their previous 2 matches.
And you got the general in your corner.
Yeah.
You're going to be able to make adjustments.
That's motivating.
Hodge Trophy winner, Jason Ness over there.
They look forward to growth of the
separated one of my discs in my neck. Thanks, Jason.
And again, our guest coach,
he's a bill for the
All-American at Georgia.
And here we go. Like you said, Schiller comes in. It looked like he penetrated deep, but Meeks just said, not today, my friend. Maybe tomorrow, but we're not wrestling tomorrow. So
Meeks has a noticeable size advantage, thicker, taller. And I think in some ways that's been the difference in their 2 matches, just a little more horsepower, a little more strength for Meeks. And he's not a guy that's going to take a lot of leg attacks, but he's going to wear you out with pace. And there's a beautiful sweep, but countered well by Schiller.
And both of these guys do some solid defense. So, as we see them each fire off shots, look for some great defense behind it by the other guy.
45 to go in this first period, still scoreless, 0-0.
This is the 3rd time these 2 have met in the last 365 days.
Still more hand fighting. Schiller's got a great motor. He doesn't wear out. He's going to keep coming. And maybe look to wear out Meeks and steal this match a little bit late.
13, Bill Chesley. Please report to section 13.
And here we go. Meeks in on the legs. Schiller defending. And nothing going.
And no score. We go to period number 2.
And so the mat is going to play a huge factor. Meeks is excellent on top. Great claw ride, great with a half, gets tilts. He was able to turn Schiller in their previous matches.
0-0, second period. Meeks on top of Schiller.
And this is where Meeks wants to be. Forward pressure, he's got that half underneath.
Colonel Huntley, they have 6. As do Carl Adams and David Imison's team.
Out to the side is
Locked at
Meeks.
6 for the green and the red team.
Schiller
Sits him into a
sits.
crab a little bit. Follows on top. Leg comes in. Started to come in on the right side. Falls out. Comes back to a spiral ride. And just kind of clinging here on top. Working that riding time. Is up to 40 seconds now in favor of Taylor Meeks.
Meeks not real close to the turn, but Schiller not really pushing the action much from bottom either. Looks like
And look
just
at
a bit
this,
stymied.
58, 59, 1 minute mark. And look at that. Riding time up over a minute now for Taylor Meeks as
Wow.
he starts to climb.
And riding
Got to
time
watch the
is
locked
a
hands
factor.
there, but
15
Meeks a
seconds
savvy
to
mat
go,
wrestler, not
period
going to
two.
fall for that one.
Meeks with
So
a
minute 11 riding time in
of
favor of
riding
Taylor
time.
Meeks. 49 seconds to go here in the second period. And Schiller needs to find a way out from underneath.
Gonna need a good first move here. He can't wait for Meeks to get to his holds. And right back where he wants to be. He's got that hook, the deep waist. Now going to the half. Riding time continues to climb. 35 seconds to go, up to 127 of riding time for Taylor Meeks.
And an impressive performance here, if nothing less. You talked about his takedowns in the past. If he can ride out, that's going to be huge. Carrying 2 minutes of riding time into the second period. He comes over the top. No, decides to go back to the side. Gets behind the arms. Schiller up to a foot, 2 feet. Meeks, excuse me. Throws a little Navy ride in there. Hanging on to the foot. 10 seconds to go. And he needs to climb. And wow, late
big escape.
That was big. 5 seconds to go, and he earns an escape. Schiller gets to 1 point, though he does give up a minute 55 of riding times. Of course, he's got to ride for 55 seconds.
Huge escape point there. Scoring at the end of the periods, that's how you win matches. So the riding time for Meeks with the escape for Schiller. So Meeks has got to get out here. He's got 55 seconds to get out and to maintain his riding time advantage.
Meeks tries to Granby through, and Schiller hangs on. Traps the hips now. Schiller in a decent spot for now. Maybe reach out and catch that post, that hand. He's going to keep it around the waist.
And it's not going to help Meeks to reach back like that. He needs to go belly here.
There he finally tries to catch that post. Meeks into a base. Schiller following behind. Call that a float drill. Now Meeks up to his feet. Schiller's going to...
There it is. So now 1-1, but 122 of riding time for Meeks. If that holds, he'll have another point coming. So in a way, Meeks has the lead right now, 2-1 over Schiller.
So look for Schiller to pick up some offense. He knows how the game works. He understands he's down by a point. And, he's got a minute 17 to go. And Meeks in on the legs, puts Schiller on the hip, and it's going to be a takedown. Taylor Meeks extends the lead 3-1. Still has the riding time. That's going to continue to climb upward. It is now at a minute and a half. We're at 1:03 to go left in the match.
And that exchange is the story of Scott Schiller and Taylor Meeks. Schiller gets in deep. Meeks just so gifted defensively, so great with his hips. Turns Schiller's deep leg attack into his own takedown. Great series by Meeks there. And up 3-1, 142 of riding time, 52 seconds to go. Things are looking great for number 1, Taylor Meeks, and he shows how he achieved that number 1 ranking.
How did he achieve it, Christian?
He achieved it because he got 4th last year. Everyone else graduated, and that's how it goes. Dustin Kilgore's gone, Quentin Wright's gone, Matt Wilbs is gone. 97 was nasty last year. It's going to be tough again this year, but with a lot of really tough guys, kind of even.
Some new blood. And look at this, Schiller scores the escape. He's still got 30 seconds to go. That is enough time to score. He trails by 1 on the scoreboard. Riding time is completely locked up, so unofficially it's 4-2 on the scoreboard, but that point will be there for Taylor Meeks at the end no matter what. And we'll see Meeks maybe put the roller skates on a little bit.
Yep.
He stands right there on the edge.
He hasn't been warned for stalling yet, so 10 seconds to go.
And here you go. Schiller gets to it, but Meeks Smart wrestling on the edge there, and as soon as he gets in any kind of exchange, he can go out of bounds and avoid danger. 7 seconds to go. Taylor Meeks out in front, 3-2. Riding time assured. And it's going to be a late takedown attempt. Oh, no! Oh, Meeks caught sleeping. Meeks caught sleeping. Schiller attacks, scores a takedown, ties his thing and forces overtime.
And Meeks is looking a little weary right now. We know Schiller's going to be able to go as long as this match goes.
He took his foot off the gas. You can't do that. He relaxed. There was like 5 seconds to go.
And visions of Jason Ness wrestle for 7 minutes, and good things happen. And Scott Schiller takes his cue from Ness there.
Oh, and Meeks right back in on the leg. Schiller over the top, catches an ankle. Schiller's going to try to go the other way now. Schiller looking to score. Schiller in possession. He's got a cradle locked up. He's got Meeks in trouble. He's got to put him on a hip or put him on his back. And he's trying to just run right through him. Interesting position. Meeks, like sitting here. And Meeks on the back. Oh, what a game! What a finish, and they're going to give it to Taylor Meeks.
Taylor Meeks flips the ankle band. Holy cow. Jake Herbert was talking in the Super 32, says he can't beat Mike McMullan in a mile. Jake Herbert, of course, our Olympian at 84 kilos in 2012. So that speaks to McMullan's athleticism.
And, of course, these two met in the NCAA finals, doing it right again here this year. Right out the gate, and you got to love it.
And McMullan's got to be real careful about the shots he takes. Can't get himself extended. Nelson is so gifted defensively and from a position standpoint that any small positional error from McMullan is going to turn into 2 points for Nelson. That's how Nelson wins. Great position, awesome top wrestling, and it's been a winning formula for him. 2 national championships in 3 years, and on pace to be one of the first 3-time national champions for the heavyweight position.
Yeah, if you're watching, let me know. I honestly don't know. Who was the last 3-time NCAA champion at heavyweight?
Someone commented that someone from Pitt Johnstown, but of course that's not a Division I school, so I don't know the answer. Someone on here says,
you know what? That's a question we're going to spend all season trying to answer.
Maybe Jason Bryant knows. We'll ask him later.
A 2-time Capital Collegiate Conference champion and a board member with the
So here we go. Both guys still filling each other out.
Do you remember the final score of the NCAA finals?
I actually don't. It was a little more higher scoring. I know I'm slacking.
I thought you knew every score.
4-2. I don't know the scores. I know what happened. Come on, Bader.
Christian,
setting the bar a little
college
higher.
analyst, is pretty dang sharp, does our rankings, and big college dual previews, and was spot on last year. Just killed it. Great stuff, Christian.
Hey, thanks, Bader.
That's the first and last time I'll compliment you.
All right. At least it's on the record officially.
Dang it. What was I thinking?
1 minute to go. 0-0. No score. No real commitments from either guy. And that's kind of Nelson's game. He's going to take ground. He's not going to get himself in a precarious situation. And on top, that's where Nelson also makes his money. Great rider. Can get turns occasionally, but just a gifted mat wrestler as well as a great neutral wrestler.
So apparently, Carlton Hasserlig.
Yeah, that's the Pitt
Hasselrig.
Johnstown.
But Zeb Miller says he won 3 in D2 and 3 in D1. That must have been back in the day when D2 champs got to go to the D1 tournament. For you younger kids didn't know that, that's how it used to be. So we'll go ahead and take your word for it, Zeb. If somebody can prove him wrong, let me know. I would love nothing more than to tell Zeb Miller he's wrong.
Someone said he played for the Steelers. That's pretty sweet. That's true about Hasselrig.
Oklahoma State back 47-50. Dick Hutton.
Oh, I don't know.
The Richmond area of Virginia.
So it's 0-0, and the first period comes to an end as Montel Marion walks by. 9-6 the team score, although, I mean, we're not here to worry about the teams.
Yeah.
Heavyweights is 0-0.
And this is a very telling moment for McMullan if he can get away with little issue. He's going to keep himself right in this match. If Nelson's able to get to that claw spiral thing.
He's got double spiral there.
Yep.
And he's got great forward pressure. He's so big and strong, and he's a super tough rider on top.
You rarely see him hit his knee. He's out to the side. So much forward pressure. He's so tall.
McMullan up to his feet and does get that escape. He takes the lead. 1-0, 1:40 to go here in the second period. That was a key to victory for McMullan right there, getting away early.
Absolutely. He hasn't made the mistakes that have cost him before. He's wrestled within himself. He's not going to beat himself. He's going to look for that one opening.
McMullan also a two-time All-American, second and third in the nation.
Still got Ness and J-Rob in Nelson's corner. And it looks like Jay Borschel coming off his Agon victory. And is that Drew Periano there?
That is Drew Periano with him as well. Myself and Ryan Blake will be taking a trip to Northwestern, among other schools, as we travel from Chicago to Austin, dipping into a half a dozen different colleges along the way. 1 minute to go here, second period. McMullan with the 1-0 lead.
Score updates a lot. 44 to go, still 1-0. 15 seconds of riding time for Nelson.
To go, period number 2.
And you know, Aaron, you see a shot from the outside by Nelson.
Great hips from McMullan there. McMullan really tough defensively.
And McMullan shoves Nelson into the crowd of kids. Almost had some potential casualties over there. That's 300. That's
a lot of meat.
500 pounds moving, whatever it is. That's crazy. And we go, 9 seconds to go in the second period, still just 1-0. And McNelson, if you will, is going to have his choice here in the third. A McNelson, that sounds like a wrestling move they sell at McDonald's.
Nelson chooses the down position to start our final frame of regulation.
2 minutes to go, Nelson underneath.
Builds up really quick.
And look at this. Oh, I thought for a second I thought McMullan was actually going to lift that big man in the air and plant him down and Turk him.
Not easily done.
Instead, Nelson just decided to put his foot on the mat and get an escape.
So we're knotted at 1:43 to go in this. The 143 remains in regulation. That is. Yet to see either guy really get close to a takedown so far. Both guys very gifted defensively. Nelson, more traditional head, hands defense, awesome hips. McMullan has good hips, but is also extremely funky, great counters. He's put that on full display throughout his career, his first 2 years, where he's finished third and second, respectively, at NCAAs, and he's a junior. Nelson from Cambridge, Minnesota.
And we see Nelson takes a shot from the outside. McMullan defends. McMullan tries to pull that front headlock down, but nothing going there.
Working the edge.
Whacking the head.
Nelson got a couple chinks in his armor this spring during freestyle. Took some losses to Tyrell Fortune as well as Nick Gwizdowski.
And is that Nick Gwizdowski over there? Like 2 rows up, blue shirt. I'm pretty sure that's Nick Gwizdowski, right next to the kid in the red shirt.
I don't know. I see an old guy, so I'm not going to look too hard, but I'll take your word for it.
I saw him earlier. I think Gwizdowski's here in the audience.
Maybe he's scouting. But yeah, Gwizdowski, I think, had 2 wins over Nelson in freestyle.
He did. Both of them, I think, were at
pretty dominant
World Team Trials.
This could be one of many times these two meet this season.
So we're knotted at 15 seconds to go in regulation.
Couple of Big Ten wrestlers out there, like we just heard Brian Hazard say, these guys likely to meet, 2, 3 at least times. I'm not sure if Minnesota and Northwestern duel. I know when you're in the Big Ten, you duel about half the schools there. But of course, you have the Big Ten tournament and then NCAAs where they could meet in either or both. 1 minute on the clock, overtime. Well, there's not a minute on the clock yet. Let's get a minute on the clock. Now they got it, overtime.
The green team.
And looks like McMullan's going to look to turn up the pace, head, hands, going to try to steal this one here in overtime. Nelson tough to get out of position. We saw Nelson fire off a few low singles this spring during freestyle.
And here we go, McMullan gets in on the leg. He's actually deep, but he's got to deal with all that weight and hips of Nelson. He's near the edge, has time to back out if he can. Now Nelson's got his leg in there. Tony Nelson in position to score. Good defense here by McMullan. He comes over the top, catches an ankle on the far side. Nelson hanging on to that leg, and Nelson trying to hang on. McMullan trying to score. Now McMullan. Did he put himself in a bad position? He turns back over the other way, catches the ankle. McMullan in position. Can he come on top? Nelson trying to throw his hips over. We got a good scramble. Oh, my goodness.
So
Time
close.
runs
Both
out.
guys almost getting the takedown there. And you can see
Awesome action.
McMullan's shot, Nelson's hips, gets him in a scoring position. McMullan almost reversed it with that great scrambling I mentioned. And here we go. First time we'll go into ride-outs here.
And not without some flair and some awesome action.
We've had some tense moments here. Great excitement, great action.
And right there in that exchange, I swayed back and forth. I was, oh, McMullan's got him. No, Nelson's got him. No, what's going on? Ah, this is fun. This is good
that's
stuff.
great wrestling.
Now we go to the ride out. Neither guy had much to say as far as riding. But as we alluded to earlier, this is where Tony Nelson excels.
Big return.
As I say that, must I give some respect to McMullan as well as he picks that man up, puts him back down on the ground. And now the escape, 9 seconds in.
9 seconds of advantage time.
And I don't think with 13 seconds to go right now, I don't think either guy's going to be taking too many risks, firing off too many shots.
Here we go. Now,
Woo!
McMullan's going to go under here.
Number 1. Come on, folks. This is number 1 versus
Nelson's
number
choice.
2. We're in the tiebreaker. Come on, folks. Let's hear it.
Both choose. The ref has signaled top for both guys. I don't know if both guys chose top. I don't understand, but either
Regardless, McMullan's going down. Things are the way they should be. Each guy has their chance underneath. 30 seconds on the clock. Nelson leads 2-1, and he's thinking ride all day long. McMullan up to his feet. Nelson takes him to the edge. McMullan circles his way back in bounds. Looks for a switch. That's not good. He's going to get his hips trapped. Don't want to get your hip trapped underneath Tony Nelson.
15
and
to
Nelson's
go.
got him
15
flat on the
seconds.
mat.
Crossface.
Throws a crossface, 12 seconds to go. And it looks like Nelson's going to lay here, get the ride and the win, 6 seconds to go. Tony Nelson is going to do it. He's going to win this thing. Final score, 2-1. He rides out McMullan and picks up the W.
A very Tony Nelson-like win there. Great defense, tough riding, and that's been the problem for McMullan throughout their history. And he gets close, almost had the winning takedown, does McMullan, but Nelson shows the mettle he has to be a two-time national champion.